Hey Fedheads, Surgeon here with another Cigar Federation review. Today we're going to be reviewing the Dominion Flor de Claro. Now if you haven't heard of Dominion Cigar Company, you're not alone. They are a Canadian cigar company, so they've started in Canada. They've been exclusively in Canada. Not sure whether they're going to expand to the United States, but you got to figure it's going to be something eventually. This is an interesting little cigar. Now I've had the opportunity to smoke this already at the second annual Rocky Mountain Smokeout, which was held just outside of my hometown of Calgary, and it was very, very good. Now, I'm obviously looking forward to trying this again on a fresh palate. So, good size. It's available in a Corona, which is a 5.5 by 42, which is fantastic. Now, if you're looking at the wrapper, you might be thinking this is Connecticut wrapper, and that was what my initial impressions were as well. But this is a special seed out of Honduras. This is a Honduran wrapper. And what makes it so special, it's got Nicaraguan filler in it, Jalapa, Condega, and Esteli. One thing about the wrapper is it is grown from Connecticut seed, but technically it's not a Connecticut wrapper. It's a special Honduran wrapper. I'm very excited to be smoking this as a review, so we'll get to nosing and check this out. So lots and lots of leather, cedar. I mean, the leather is very strong. It's like a medium-bodied leather. A little bit of hay in the foot, but not much else. So I'm excited to get cracking here. So we'll get toasting, we'll get lighting, get cutting. So if you follow my review, you know this is my standard operating procedure here, no pun intended, to get this bad boy lit before cutting. That way no hot gases get drawn into the cigar and you're getting the maximum experience out of the cigar. It's a Corona 5.5 by 42, so you're probably looking at about an hour and 15 minutes smoking time thereabouts, maybe slightly faster. A little bit on the cool side today, so it could affect my burn rate. So there we go on the, that's good. Trusty V cutter, which is my standard for testing draws. Ooh, and I cracked the cap on that. So something you probably want to be sensitive to, especially on something the small of ring gauge, is maybe go with a punch. I did unfortunately manage to crack the top of the wrapper, but I'm going to keep smoking anyways because that's how I roll. So lots of creamy cedar, which is definitely the wrapper in play here. Just a sweet creamy cedar to start. I'm going to do a retrohale here, see what else we can get on the from the filler. So a little bit creamier on the retro. No real spices or pepper to speak of, although I'm sure it's coming with that Nicaraguan filler. In fact, I can already kind of feel a little bit building at the back of my mouth. One thing to comment is on the regular draw, there's definitely a leather chaser already starting, which doesn't surprise me with the amount of leather that was coming off of the wrapper. So I'll continue smoking and report back in the first third at what else comes up. Sitting at just over the 10-minute mark. It's a sweet, balanced cigar. The Nicaraguan tobacco is adding a lot of body to it, but the Honduras wrapper adds a lot of sweetness to it. So it ends up being a medium minus cigar. Not a lot of pepper and spices really come to the surface. There's a bit of leather between draws that's kind of lingering, but it just adds to the flavor profile. As you can see, it's got a nice clean burn to it. Really enjoying the first third. We'll see how it progresses. Sitting at the 20-minute mark, you can see this is burning extremely well. I mean, just razor sharp burn line. Haven't needed to do any touch-ups on this. Just a great medium minus bodied cigar. Flavors are balanced. Enjoying the first third. Cigar begs to be paired with coffee. You know, you could probably do a rum cocktail as well, but coffee would be perfect with this. So, you know, probably another 10 minutes left in the first third, and check back in the middle third. Sitting at the 35-minute mark, pretty much into the middle third, just starting in the middle third. There was a little bit of cocoa coming through at the end of the first third with a cedar chaser, which is to be expected. I think a lot of that is the wrapper influence and not the filler influence. So I'll report in the middle third here, see what other flavors come to the surface. There's a bit of pepper that's maybe a light plus that's starting to build as a mouthfeel, and I'm thinking it's probably going to come more prominent in the middle third, but I'll check back in the middle third and see how it's going. Approaching the halfway point, I'm at the 45-minute mark. As you can see, the ash continues to hold really well. I'm getting about 2 to 2.5 inches of ash before I end up knocking it off. just because I don't want to wear it. But it's good. The middle third is primarily cedar, getting a lot more cedar in the aftertaste instead of leather, and it's kind of a dry cedar, so I am pairing with water just to keep my palate clean. But it's enjoyable. I'll keep checking in as the flavors develop. So, as I expected, the retrohale has picked up in intensity. There's pepper coming through now. It's medium plus, and lingers really nicely. Mixes in with a rich cocoa that's coming through, so it kind of plays off of each other so that the pepper isn't overpowering. Yeah, enjoyable. I'll keep checking in. Just past the 1 hour 10 mark. Not a lot of other flavors to report on. The leathers come back, kind of mixed in, but other than that, the flavor profile in the middle third has been pretty stable. About to take the band off, and won't be very long before I get into the last third here. Sitting at the 1 hour 20 mark, obviously exceeding what I expected for smoking time on this. Probably going to end up around an hour 40, I'm thinking. As I finish the middle third here, there's some nuttiness going into the last third. And I think we'll be in the last third in about 5 minutes, so I'll report back in and see what other flavors come up in the last third. So definitely to reiterate, this, because of the ring gauge here, I definitely made an error using the V-cut. I really should have gone with a punch, or actually a punch would have been perfect. The cap, I think, just doesn't support a V-cut. It's a little too cold out, and I cracked it. But I digress. In the last third here, there's some spices mixing in, so the flavor profile is really spices, that cedar that's a little bit drying, and then a leather finish to each draw. Going to wrap this one up here as I'm freezing my tail off. I hope you've enjoyed the review of the Dominion Flor Claro. It's been a very tasty cigar. Probably going to be, I would think, a 5-pack rating. It's a really enjoyable cigar. These are a no-brainer to have in my humidor, and I think, I'll be definitely looking forward to pairing these with some coffee and other beverages. If you enjoy our videos, appreciate it if you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and definitely check out our written review at CigarFederation.com. Thanks for checking out our review.